Fantastic. So by us recording, we can be able to share the link with those who won't be able to join us, because I know some of the people are actually just DMing me, telling me I'm in traffic, I won't be able to join in. But by the virtue of us recording, that means we can be able to avail this session for those who won't be able to join us for today. So welcome everyone. Welcome Kibetians to this Wednesday session. And tonight we are tackling one of the biggest enemies of savings, and it is the story of entertainment. So, who am I? My name is Paul Edward Mwangi. I work at Mwalimu Biashara as a financial trainer. As how I normally like to put it, I am a recovering spender. What does that mean? It means not a while back, si kitambo sana, I used to be the person who, when it comes to money, whenever it is in my pocket, it is either hiyo pesa ilale ama mimi nilale. Mmoja lazima angetumika. Either ni mimi ama ni pesa. So that is who I was. My financial habits were quite not there, to be honest. And this is how openly I like to put it, because some of us, we normally think because we are financial trainers, that you have the best of it. But to be honest, I think also some of us, we are also in the recovering phase. So I'm a recovering spender. I am now more cautious into how I am spending my money by virtue of the fact that sticking to a budget, making sure that I put my priorities right, and all that. And some of the things that you're going to be discussing today are some of the things that ideally we want to channel. So last week we had a very powerful session, and last week we were able to show you the power of compounding. Okay, and actually the link is down the group, but I know some of us have been able to join in the course of this week. So I will be able to reshare that link on the link of our YouTube channel. We have that recording there so that you can see the power of compounding. What does the power of compounding mean? The power of compounding basically means that the little money that you start saving, the 200 shillings, the 300 Kenya shillings you start saving, it can be able to go a big, big way in ensuring that you are able, forgive me for that, to attain something called financial freedom. So, today, as I said, we're going to be talking about entertainment. And when it comes to entertainment, it is all about the good vibes. As in, there's no one who goes to have entertainment na akose kukula pesa yake vizuri. Tell me one person, and I can tell you, ideally, that is a conundrum. So, let's start with this. If there's one country that is known to have very good entertainment, what was sherehe? It's a country called Kenya. And entertainment in Kenya, to be honest, it's like a black hole. Yeah. Entertainment in Kenya, kama haujapangia pesa yako, and I like this analogy where normally people say, unaendanga kwa supermarket, unaambia nani, wacha mtoto kwa gari, ama unaacha mtoto akicheza huko nje, because the minute akiingia supermarket, if your budget was 2,000 Kenya shillings, you will ensure that that budget has doubled, because mtoto atakaa hapo alilie doli ama alilie toy car or whatever thing that they want, and they will ensure that they cause such drama in the supermarket because of the aibu utakuwa nayo. You'll be like, take it and twende. So you hauko umejipangia ku spend, but that is not entertainment. But ideally, what we want to focus on today is the aspect of entertainment. How can we be able to not be judgmental? Because as I said, as I started, I'm a recovering spender. I used to spend money. It's not that I'm not spending money today, I am still spending. But right now, I've been able to put certain parameters in place that are able to give me a signal. Whenever I want to spend that 100 shillings or that 1,000 or even that 10,000 Kenya shillings, I ask myself, is this a necessity? Is this a priority? And is there anything else that I am supposed to have paid with this money, but I'm here basically entertaining myself? I remember last week, no, 2 weeks ago, I shared this story. And probably some of you were here in that session and you can remember that last week, 2 weeks ago, I had the conundrum where it was very chilly in Nairobi. Sijui ni kama June and July and August, the weathers zimeamua tu exchange one another. But I shared this story and I'll probably just brush through it. I went to somewhere, I was going to buy some maize flour to go and cook some pancakes over the weekend. I like cooking pancakes over the weekend. And then I saw a certain duka hapo ya mtumba, nikasema, this duka nimekuwa nikiona ikipita, and what about it? So to cut the long story short, I saw a jacket that actually captivated my eye, and I know these salespeople. Wanajuanga that trick. They put the nice cameras, wanaitanga camera, wanaziekanga hapo mbele ndo uweze kuenda kuangalia ni nini iko ndani. Anyway, to cut the long story short, I was supposed to buy one hoodie or one jacket. I ended up spending more than 5,000 Kenya shillings. I spent more than 5,000 Kenya shillings. And the question that I was asking myself 2 days down the road was, should I bought around four hoodies. The question is, did I really need these four hoodies? Ama ilikuwa tu ni ile tamaa, because you see something and the heart wants what it wants. And that is what you normally tell people. Like also in relationships, unaambianga mtu, mimi roho imependa, imependa. But for here, the beauty of this is, we are here not to judge you. We are here to ensure that this is a safe space where, whether you are a person who likes entertainment, whenever that Friday comes, unasemanga mimi siwezi lala kwa nyumba, that can be you. Or for you, whenever you say unapenda kwenda window shopping, but the only thing that comes out of that window is your money. Or whoever that person that you are in, you go to that entertainment spot and you hear that smell ya the nyama choma ama ya the pizza, as you can see our ladies enjoying. Unaambia mwili tulia kwanza. This money is going to come next month. Kwani, what is the problem? We want to see how can you be able to start ensuring that you put the right parameters into place. And the problem is not entertainment. The problem is entertaining yourself below the budget. That is where the problem is. We are not here to judge you. You're not here to come and say, stop spending whatever entertainment that you're doing. At the end of the day, you earn your money. You have every right to spend your money in whichever manner that you want. But ideally, what you're saying is entertainment is not bad. Relaxing is important. But entertainment bila budget, hiyo ni ideally unataka tu mpesa balance yako ukibaki tu zero. You want to continue dipping into your Fuliza. You want to continue to using the loan apps, and you know how stressful that can get. Okay, so we have several topics that we want to check about. We have people who normally like going to night out and clubbing. That is okay. That is very much okay. We are not here to judge or in any given manner, but we are here to see how can you be able to start planning for your entertainment? How can you be able to start planning for whatever things that you know? We, in our previous webinars that we did, we tackled something called the money traps, and we were very particular about it, and people were so engaging because people told me I have a certain money trap, which, for example, is when someone asks me for money, siwezi mnyima, niko na roho mzuri. Some of us came out and said, Mimi, I like eating out. Mimi, whatever, whenever nikipitana na sufuria kwa nyumba, I don't even look at the kitchen. Mimi naangalia the other side, I go and order my takeout and then I come back and eat. Some of us told us, whenever I feel like I just like using Ubers because it's comfortable. But at the end of the day, it is chipping inside your budget. So how can we be able to manage all this? All right. So as I said, safe space is here. Fun is allowed. But being broke is not allowed in this community. We are here to assist each and every one of us. We all have our things that we normally go through, but at the end of the day, how can you be able to ensure that we are using the right parameters? We are entertaining ourselves in the best possible way, so that even when you're going out and you want to spend that 2,000 Kenya shillings or 10,000 Kenya shillings, depending on whatever amount that you've set aside, we want to ensure that you spend it fully, you spend it below judgment, knowing that this is the money that I set aside for my entertainment. Umesha sort rent, umesort school fees ya watoto. Schools are opening, by the way. You've set aside the school, or maybe that piece parcel of land that you want to buy, or that emergency fund that you would actually wanted to plan for. And how can you be able to do this? So without further ado, we have our financial coach with us, who is going to be ideally telling us more about this. How can I be able to start budgeting for my entertainment or whatever thing that I want? And as I said, this is a session for us Kibetians, for us to engage, for us to discuss. Feel free to be able to just raise your hand or unmute your mic and also tell us what are some of the things that you feel that they are tying you, they're holding you back when it comes to budgeting. Because at the end of the day, my budget and the budget for Naomi or for Jackie or for Kenon or for Ngare or for anyone who is in this particular session, they are not the same, because we all have different ideas, we all have different demands, we all have different needs. But at the end of the day, if I can be able to come out of August or in September or in October being better financially than I was in May, June, July, we can comfortably say that we are moving towards something called attaining towards financial freedom. And this is my parting shot before I give our financial coach, who is Kenon, and also our CEO at Mwalimu Biashara. If you feel like you've dropped the ball already, if you feel by the August ilishafika tarehe tano nikaband, hatukwambia ati that is we are not here to judge you. We're here to tell you the beauty of this life, or the beauty of this community, is the strength that you have in numbers. Pick yourself up again. You feel like you did not utilize your budget well, pick yourself up again. You feel like you overspent on a certain item. Personally, like for me, I overspent on those hoodies na bado saizi na nyuma. The beauty of it is I can't go back. Siwezi zirudisha because money has already been spent. But the beauty of this is I tell myself, next time whenever I'm going to buy something, I have to ask myself one, two, three questions before I even put my hand inside my pocket and to be able to remove that money and make that purchase. So without further ado, Kenon, if you can be able to hear us, please take over to the next slide. And as always, I encourage each and every person who is here to be able to put your questions in the chat section. Whatever questions that you had, they may be related to the entertainment aspect or not. Kindly feel free to just come and say, Mimi niko na hii, what about this? What about this? Kenon is very much qualified, not just as a trainer, but as a person who's also going through this financial journey with us, as every Kenyan is, so that you can be able to learn more. So Kenon, kindly take charge and karibu sana.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, Edward. Very interesting way of starting this webinar. Kama umeanguka, usijali. There's always a way to start all over again and start again and again. And that's why we are here at Kibeti Community. We know this is a marathon. Out of experience, personal financial management is not an event. It's not something you do and finish. It is something we grow into. It's something we're dealing with every day. And that's why we are here to talk about various things. So today we're talking about entertainment. Let's do this. I can see we have a couple of us in the meeting today. Please go to the chat section and tell us, when you hear entertainment, what comes to mind? What are we managing? Okay, just go to the chat section and tell us, what's your version of entertainment? We're not asking you to put a figure. We're not asking you to explain anything. We're just asking you to say, when I hear entertainment, what is it? Is it going out? Is it buying shoes? Is it going to a movie? Let's see what comes in the chat section when we hear entertainment and we're saying, I'm budgeting for my entertainment. I'm happy to take any responses that come to the chat section. Feel free. This is your webinar, by the way. Why we do this is we intend that by the time you leave this 20, 30 minutes you've given us, you've personalized, for you, this is it. That you feel, okay, I think I learned something. I picked something from that session, and that's what we are asking you. Edward has started us out. He says fun and outdoor activities. When Edward is thinking entertainment, he's thinking, what do I spend for my fun? And what do I spend for my outdoor activities? That is Edward. Happy to take more comments. Feel free. By the way, no right answer, no wrong answer. We see we have Naomi, we have Jackie, we have Morethi, we have Joyce. We are happy to hear from you. Let us know when you hear entertainment, what comes to mind, okay? And I think my other friend, must be accounts, a good friend of mine. I think it's Francis, if I'm not wrong. Let's see in the chat section, what is this? Joyce is telling us when she's thinking about entertainment, it's dinner, night with family, and then lunch with friends. Thank you very much, Joyce. Very much on track there. This is exactly what entertainment is. But let's see a few more comments here. Then I'll be sharing one thought. How do you manage entertainment? We are trying to identify it first. What is this thing called entertainment? After that, what do you do to manage it? Is there a percentage of your income that should be allocated to entertainment? Those are the things that are coming up after this webinar. I mean, in the course of this webinar. But I'm happy to see someone is saying refreshments with family and friends. Thank you very much. I think more or less, I think it's now starting to join towards time spent with family, time spent with friends, and it's touching on food, that is all okay. I see you're joined by a few other people there. GM, karibu sana. Fauzia, good to have you. Eric Mwenda, my good friend, karibu sana. It's great to have you on board. Asanteni sana for joining. We're in the section where you're asking you, when we hear entertainment, personal financial management, and I'm talking about entertainment, please go to the chat and tell us, what is it? How does it look like? What is it called? Naomi tells us it's night outs, clubbing, fun activities with family and social events. Very well captured there, Naomi. Catherine Mukami, thank you so much. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Great. Now, for the rest of us who's just joined in, please don't hesitate. But as you're putting something on the chat, there's a couple of facts about entertainment that you need to get right where personal finance is concerned. The first thing, it is necessary. It is necessary. It is important. You should do it without feeling guilty. You should do it and enjoy it. You should do it and have fun. You should do it and be satisfied. You know, most times when we are, especially for me, when I was being brought up, entertainment was kind of the extra. You probably even supposed to be doing it with a frown on your face. You don't know whether you've gone too much or that's the thing. But guys, I'm here to tell you, entertainment is important and please have it. That's the first step. Second step, it is one of the most elusive items to budget for. If it is rent, I know how much rent is. There's no argument. It is 4,000 or 40,000 or 400,000, whatever the number is. And it's very definite. If I come to school fees, I know it is this much. Nimemaliza ama sijamaliza. So the tricky thing about budgeting for entertainment is that it has no guardrails. It has no limits. It has our life of its own. And then also there's a way of justifying ourselves when doing it. We tell ourselves, like Edward was saying, it's okay. Let me just buy the 3 hoodies. It's okay. I'll get more money next month. While that is the case about entertainment, it is very possible to actually manage it, right? Now, but we need to understand the framework first. Now, I'm going to take you to a tool called Kibeti towards the end, and I'll show you how so well we have thought about helping people manage the entertainment. But the other thing about entertainment is sometimes it's connected to your emotions. If you're like me, there are times when I feel stressed and I'm thinking about entertainment, I will go all out. I'll probably do double or triple what I would actually have done if I wasn't stressed. So there's a part of entertainment. Maybe you've had a long day, the week has been tough at work. This is Friday beckoning, and you're thinking it is time to rest. It is time to get entertainment. So sometimes it comes, if the emotion is at a place where you're tired, you're bored, you're angry, you're hungry, both of them, you might end up overdoing it. Now, you see, we need to understand the characteristics of entertainment before we go for it. So I see you're joined by other people. What you're doing in the chat today, you're going to the chat section and telling us, when you hear entertainment, what exactly are we budgeting for? How does it look like? Okay, I see Murethi has added something on the chat. Murethi is thinking about holidays, budgeting on expenses. Holidays is part of entertainment for Murethi. Absolutely correct there. We hear you loud and clear. Asante sana. Now, having done that, is there a percentage of your total income that should be allocated to entertainment? Is there a formula? Is there a recommendation? And the answer is yes. So first, it depends on your total income. On your total income, because why I'm saying that is for people who are starting out in life and they have not made a lot of money, you find the necessities take up most of their budget. By the time someone pays for rent and transport and electricity and gas and water, probably their money is almost all spent. So if you're starting out, you'll find that the percentage of your income that goes to entertainment is actually low. Then you get to the next level of people who have probably worked longer, or you've gotten a better job, or you've gotten better income. You find that you have some money left over. After you've done your rent, electricity, and all the basics, there's some substantial amount of money that is left over. At that point, one of the dangers is you probably start falling into debt. So that means most of your income is being spent servicing debt. That is the danger of that stage. But if you're in that stage, then you can actually afford up to 2, sometimes 5% of your income can go to entertainment. There's the next level of people who, yes, they are making money, but especially if you have a family, the responsibilities become a lot. By the time you talk about school fees, guy, school fees peke yake, it drains you. By the time you're talking about maybe you're servicing a mortgage, you can't even think about any extras in your income. So you end up looking at approximately 5 to 10% of your, between 2 and 10% of your income goes to entertainment, depending on the level of life that you're in. But here's the problem. It is one thing to set that budget. It's another thing to follow it. If you look at what's coming in the chat today, it is yet another thing to follow it. And these are some of the tips that we talk about. Number one, have a figure. Even if you may not exactly fit within it, just have a basic number, 5,000 a month, or 3,000, or 10,000, whatever your amount is. Then this is the other thing, try budget for it per week. A month is such a long time to manage something like entertainment. The way it comes, a month is too long. So you can break it down and say, okay, my monthly budget for entertainment is 5,000. But week 1, I'll be at 1,250. Week 2, 1,250. Week 3, 1,250. Week 4, 1,250. That way then, you're able to spread it in such a way that it doesn't surprise you. If you put it for the month, it's likely in weekend number 2, by the time you do the things that you put in the chat, maybe it's a dinner with friends or all these things you put, or I'll come to holiday for Mureithi, or night outs, what Naomi has told us, or refreshments with family, or dinner with family, you will end up justifying and probably blowing it up in the first 2 weeks. So, but if you put it per week, it really, really helps in that sense. Naomi has a question. Does the money one pays for TV subscription and internet, can it be slotted in as entertainment? Good one, Naomi. So I'll be showing you real budgeting. Real budgeting should call every expense by its name. So, and you'll see in the tools I'm going to show you, subscription can be entertainment, because most of the time you find TV subscription, maybe Netflix, or sometimes DSTV, or whatever it is you're subscribing, you find most of the time it's entertainment. So yes, that actually falls under entertainment. When it comes to internet, we like to classify that as utilities. It's like electricity, water, gas, internet comes in there because nowadays that one is being looked at as it's a necessity. Of course, people say, because I need to watch Lost on Netflix, then I also need to have Wi-Fi, the internet we've talked about. It can either be, it can fall on either side, Naomi, depending on how you look at it. There are people who say, I have a home office, I work from home. So the real reason I'm really paying for entertainment is not, for internet, is not entertainment. It's because it's a tool for trade. Like for me, I can tell you I work from home, I do these trainings from home. So for me, internet is not entertainment. It's actually a tool of trade for me, right? But thanks a lot, Naomi, for that question. Please keep them coming as we move on. I only have 10 more minutes with this webinar. And in these 10 minutes now, I want to demonstrate to you how then can you make this practical, okay? Because at Maribu, we always say we should do. Let me see network is here today. What to do? We actually show you how to do it. So just allow me to share something on my phone right now. I see Edward is asking, how do you manage entertainment budget? Have a specific figure in mind, try to budget per week. Thanks a lot, Edward, for putting those tips out there. Now, you'll hear us very many times talking about Kibeti and this and that. Let me set the record straight. We have done personal finance training
Um,
for, for over years.
I'm sorry, you're
This
breaking up.
is almost my 20th year dealing with matter funds. Up the solution like that you're bringing out to you. So it's not just a product we are pushing. I'm sorry, my network is okay.
It was shaky. Now it's better. It was a bit shaky.
Okay. Sincere apologies for that. Again, if it causes trouble, I'll have to switch over. But I'm hoping now it is clear for us to hear.
Yes, much better.
Having done personal finance that long, we realized the trick in personal finance is not head knowledge. It's not just the knowledge, it is the behavior. It is what I end up doing with money. Let me see, Edward, if
Yeah, yeah. So sorry. Yeah, it's a bit shaky.
here, just give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Just give me a sec.
And be sharing the link for Kibeti App and get it on Play Store. That is the app. Yes. Eric Monday is saying it's breaking. The link is breaking up. Yes, Kenan is actually on it. He's working on it. He'll be joining. He's actually just back.
Super. I have switched off on my network. I'm hoping this will stay on. Eric, thanks for that feedback on the chat. But let me know if it's now clear.
Yes,
Great.
better.
Thanks a lot, and apologies, guys, for that. But I think I'm more on the right network. I was talking about the trick in personal finance, and you'll see us talk about that over and over again. You'll see us making comments in the Kibeti community. You'll see us talking about it. Over time, we have established what makes it work is not head knowledge. It's not how much I know. Now, that knowledge is extremely important. Please don't get me wrong. But that's just one part of it. It is what I end up doing that makes me either succeed or not. So we say personal finance is 20% knowledge, 80% behavior. Hence, this tool I want to show you here today. It is a culmination of a lot of research and feedback from people, and it's still under continuous improvement. How then do you get to budget for this? Let me share my screen here and show you there. I'm happy that Edward has already put the chart there. Should you want to actually download Kibeti, if you haven't, please do. Now, let me also tell you something. The part I want to show you here is free of charge. What we do with this webinar, we don't come here to sell stuff to you. We actually come here to help you. Now, if you find that you need to invest a little bit more, then it's okay. But at the end of this webinar, I'm going to show you, you can start doing it today without having to change your life financially in any way. But let me show you. I've already downloaded Kibeti for sure. It is right here. So if you are there, it will always look something like this. There are many things you could do, but today we want to focus on budgeting for entertainment. So at the bottom there, you have my budget. So you can go to outflows and you can change. Of course, you can see I've already budgeted for a couple of things here. This is my own Kibeti. I've budgeted for many things. But let's see the section that deals with investments. Entertainment. So if you add there, we recommend you do the budget manually. Then you get to see a couple of things. The first thing you see there is entertainment, as you can see there. Now you can decide, like I've proposed, maybe it's $12.50 every week. Now you've just done you finished budgeting for entertainment. But that's just one part of it. Remember the question that Naomi has asked, what else is under entertainment? And also even for us, what you've put in the chat, what else? So if you go down here and you say other outflows, you get to a place called self. This part called self is the one that you budget for your all your entertainment needs. Now let me take you through what happens there. There is something called a personal allowance. A personal allowance is an amount in your budget which you allocate for yourself. It is for you to have fun. If you look at what was put in the chat in terms of what entertainment is, I can see we have TV subscriptions, internet, holiday from already there, night outs, clubbing, fun activities. Now, that one might be touching on self. When you go for a night out or you go clubbing, that is your own fun. That's what's called a personal allowance. We usually say it is called no questions asked amount, but it's important for you to determine it. So in your case, you could say it is 1,500 per week. What you've just done, you're saying every week I can entertain myself up to 1,500. Could be 2,000, it could be 500. The figure is your own secret, but the concept. So what happens on Friday and you're going clubbing, like I can see here, it is important for you to know it is 1,500. Some of the tips that you can use is carry that money in cash. Toa kwa M-Pesa, toa kwa credit card, beba cash. So you know iko kwa mfuko ni 1,500. Ndio ikiisha imeisha. All right? Of course, then you also plan ahead. Depending on where you go or depending on what you do, you know if I go to this club or if I go this direction or I do this, definitely 1,500 itatosha. Now, that is how you plan for entertainment. Let's talk about the other examples that have come. Refreshments with family and friends. Nothing wrong with that. So you know very well, like for me, I know when I go with my family for an entertainment outing, mahali watasema tuende, in my mind, I know if it's gonna blow my budget or not. That is the time I have the opportunity to control the budget. At that point, you're making the decision. Do we go to place A? Do we do item B? Do we travel to destination C? That, ladies and gentlemen, is where the decision is made. The decision is not made after you have arrived there. Now you're trying to sort out your budget. It is too late. So we say that 1,500 you've put, it helps you start planning ahead. Carry enough cash. If you have a credit card, reduce the limit. For me, I had to move it from a certain figure somewhere and I had to bring it down because I realized the temptation of swiping was very high. And I swiped and I found myself with such a big debt. So I start reducing even the limit itself. Ikifika X amount, I can do more. The other thing is, when do you know to leave? When do you need to leave? Whatever entertainment you're doing, like the ones you've seen in the chat there, fun and outdoor activities, dinner with family, lunch with friends, refreshments with family, at what point do you start wanting to leave? Because sometimes if you stay on, it means spending more. Am I asking us to be misers? No. I'm asking us to respect the amount we budget for. I can see Eric there on the chat telling us, me, myself, and I like that. That's called the personal allowance money, Eric. I like that. What you're putting across to you, ladies and gentlemen, is respect the figure you budget for, and you do it early enough. Second thing is about exposure. Exposure is part of what do you do to improve yourself or to learn more. You could be wanting to probably understand cooking or traveling, whatever it is. You want to know slightly more. ChatGPT, I want to learn ChatGPT, for example. I budget for it and say, I'll spend 10,000 shillings every quarter for me to be exposed. If I'm a travel agent, How do I know the new ways people are doing traveling? If I am an accountant, how do I figure out the new ways of what systems people are using? You put an amount for exposure. Gym and fitness, this is important. You're probably saying, I want to keep fit. This is part of spending on yourself. You could probably say, I pay 12,000 shillings, but I pay it every quarter. For example, I go to a gym that, or I'm a member of a club or whatever that helps you. Now, you can also get gym and fitness without spending. Please start walking around the estate. Please start doing you. I don't have to go to a gym and be in a treadmill for me to be fit. I can start walking around. Go to YouTube. Look for aerobic courses or whatever exercises that are there. Buy yourself a small mat, put it in your house. Every 6 o'clock in the morning, you actually do what's supposed to be done right there. So you must not necessarily spend on this. You can actually find ways to make it happen. Clubs, member of a club, maybe you're a member of a club somewhere, a golf club or a members club, whatever. Maybe you spend 5,000 shillings every month. Remember, we are spending. We are we've now gone one notch higher because these are things that are usually mistaken for entertainment. If you notice, entertainment is one thing, but there are so many other lines here. You can spend on your grooming. How do you budget for your grooming? Grooming are two ways. There is the monthly or weekly for the ladies, my nails, my hair, my makeup, my everything. There's nothing wrong with it. The thing is, please budget for it. So maybe it could be 2,500 every month. Okay. I saw we were told about traveling. This is part of budgeting for yourself. You could say, I want to save, say 50,000 shillings, but for the whole year. Okay, 50,000 shillings for the year. There I am. I've just finished budgeting for yourself. And of course, any other amount you feel has been left out, you put it there and there you go. And then you add your budgeted outflows and you have budgeted safely for entertainment and other items. Please grab this in Kibeti. You should be able to do all I've shown you. This is a recording that we'll share with you. You can go ahead and try those small things. Try to budget for it. Try to see what the figures come out to. But of course, in my case, I can now download that nice PDF budget and I can see, of course, for me, I'd put other numbers beforehand, but for you, you can get to see how have you budgeted for. You'll find it's all this under self. Here's what you're doing. You'll find them there: gym and fitness, entertainment, exposure, personal allowance, clubs. You'll find that the figures are appearing and you can tell what percentage of your income are you spending on each of those items. This is something you can always do in Kibeti on your own, right? So that's it from us. The thing we learned today was how do you budget for entertainment? You have a few tips, and then also we've shown you a tool that you can use for this. This is Wisdom Wednesday from Mwalimu Biashara and Kibeti community. We will keep doing this every Wednesday. Call a friend, bring people in, let us help people manage their personal finances because that's what we wake up every morning to help people do. I'll hand it back to Edward to bring us to the end of this session, but we are happy to take any questions of the chat session. Please throw a question there, throw a comment, let us know what this was all about. If you need any other assistance on the site, we are happy to help you. I've been yours, Kenon Bai, always ready to help you manage your finances. Have a good one. Over to you, Edward.
Great. So thank you so much, Kenon, for that amazing session. Wow. I think we keep learning each and every day. And I'm actually delighted with how we've been able to do this session, and also how we can be able to use Kibeti to not only budget, but also giving us the practicality of it. I like how you've actually mentioned that we are able to budget for entertainment on a week-to-week basis so that you can also be aligned and be able to adjust and see how you can be able to do that. And that is quite amazing. I've also learned to see how that can be able to come in fruition and how we can be able to manage our finances. As you said, there are so many entertainments, and I like the part which you've said, ukishamaliza budget yako entertainment, funga virago, enda nyumbani. So if you've set 1,500 and you know we like clubbing, ikifika 1,500, kindly just take your Uber or take your matatu, whichever you want, and kindly go home. Usilaumu DJ at the DJ put my song again. Hapana. So in whichever way that you're doing, I think it all calls about moderation, and it also calls about that a little bit of discipline to be able to tell yourself that this Friday is there, this is the limit. We can be able to do this again next Friday. As always, I like to personally thank each and every person who's here. So thank you, Anna Kihanya, for joining. Thank you, Dr. Fred Ogweno. Thank you, Eric Mwanda. Thank you, Fozia. Thank you, GM. Thank you, Jackie Marete. Thank you, Joyce Waidera. Thank you, Kelvin Motisia. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Maureen Ingare. Thank you, Naomi Catherine Mokami, for joining in. And most importantly, thank you to our financial coach, Kenan Bai, for this amazing session. We're going to be doing this again next Wednesday. As Kenan has mentioned, kindly invite your people, invite your friends, let us join in. And also for this session, we'll be sharing it on our YouTube channel. So I'll be sharing the link in the next 24 or in the course of the day tomorrow so that you can be able to see it and also just peruse around it. As Kenan has mentioned, we're here to serve you and to give you the proper value that you need in order to elevate your money so that you can be able to grow, build, and protect your finances so that you can become wealthy not only for you, but for your future generations. I've been a financial trainer. Thank you so much for this amazing session and enjoy your night. I can see Fozi is saying, I think I'll have to save za kununua simu juu hata hii link inaka download the app. It's saying not compatible. Okay, thank you Fozia for that. We can probably chat on the side and then we can be able to see how we can be able to manage that in the due time. Probably maybe shida maybe inaweza kosa kuwa si simu, but let's work together to see how we can be able to address that. But thank you for that comment. We can be able to have a side chat and take this on the side and be able to address that. So for each and everyone who's here, thank you so much. Enjoy your night. And yeah, let's continue the engagements in our Kibeti community. Share the link with people and friends and family so that you can be able to learn together. Asanteni sana. Have a lovely night, everyone. Good night. Take care.
Good night.
All right. Thank you so much, Naomi.